Hi everyone, Tricia Sloma along with Chief Meteorologist Matt Engelbrecht. As promised, we're bringing you the very latest on this dangerous cold that has settled into Michiana.
First alert weather day, so we're first alerting you all morning long about the changing conditions. And we say changing, but really it's the same conditions for a number of hours and a number of days. In fact, the wind chill at the 8 o'clock hour, we're at 16 below in South Bend, still at 22 below zero in Elkhart, 16 below in Plymouth, and then 17 below zero in Rochester. Dangerously cold temperatures in and across the area. You can see in the background there as well. This is a live cam. So we're also having to deal with some lake effect snow to go along with the cold temperatures. Visibility will be a bit of an issue. And overall, it's going to be a cold morning, a cold afternoon, dangerously cold weekend in and across Michigan.
And we just got an alert from St. Joseph County Police saying officers are responding to multiple slide-offs this morning. You touched on this. There's a lot of lake effect snow coming down. It's small, but it's really accumulating in some parts of our viewing area. They're saying the western part of the county is a bad spot. They're saying we're also seeing whiteout conditions due to snow and blowing snow. They actually say one area of a particular area that you need to take caution in is Tulip Road between Grant and Harrison Roads. So take caution. There are already people getting stuck out there or maybe sliding off. And this is the kind of weather that you don't want to be stranded in your car.
Right, yeah. On Wednesday and on Thursday, people were getting stranded. They were sliding off the road and had to wait for a tow truck to come through to pull them out. But remember, on Wednesday and Thursday, temperatures were in the 20s. They were in the 30s. Today, we are in the single digits with dangerously cold wind chill.
All right. Now, we have team coverage on this morning, and you have a team of meteorologists that you tap into as well.
Yeah, Jack Van Meter is standing by, and he actually had quite the morning commute. Jack, we'll start off right there. So you came in about an hour ago, and conditions are changing quickly. What were you experiencing when you started your day?
Yeah, I walked in and I looked at Matt, and I pretty much said it was awful outside. I was dealing with whiteout conditions at time, the biting wind, limited visibility. Yeah, and obviously the unbelievably cold conditions outside. It was not a pleasant commute into work. I was on Angela, and I also was on 933. Of course, that's where our WNDU studios are located. But the big thing that I notice out there, again, it's going to be the drifting lake effect snow. This isn't your normal fluffy or wet snow. It's very fine. That tells us there's not a lot of moisture out there, and that's very easy to tell. As soon as you walk out the door, you're hit with the cold weather. As we look at our radar behind us, we can see there is some blue showing up. Obviously, that is going to be lake effect snow, but it's kind of hard to see because it's not really coming down in a great amount or a great force, if you will. It's very fine, like I just mentioned. And that's the type of coverage we're actually going to be seeing throughout the day today. I also wanted to touch on the fact that the cloud cover and the lake effect snow is actually keeping us warm, and I want to use warm as a relative term. I'm saying warm, and when I refer to folks over in Chicago, in Illinois, they're not dealing with any cloud cover, and this isn't wind chill. This is actual temperature. So this is what the actual thermometer is reading. -9 degrees out there in Chicago. However, in the cloud cover, 3 degrees above zero. So
balmy.
Honestly,
balmy.
Not too bad. Yeah, balmy. Yeah. Break out the shorts and everything. We all know how that works. Going throughout the rest of the morning, I am keeping a close eye on the wind gusts because that is going to be a huge factor, especially going into the afternoon today. We're around 30 miles an hour. That's going to be a major problem for commuting, especially on the high mile-per-hour roads. So we're talking anything where the speed limit is over 55 miles an hour, and you're going to have a 30-mile-an-hour wind coming out of the northwest. It's just going to take the snow and pile it up on the opposite side of the road. Thankfully, as we go throughout the evening tonight, the wind gusts are going to calm down just a little bit. But yeah, the cold today, massive story. And what's not helping? The wind and obviously the lake effect snow.
Well, guys, the wind, there's still snow out there that's drifting. And that's contributing to the drifts. I know out in secondary roads in my driveway, really bad. And I mean, it adds up and it piles up quickly.
No, it does, and that's a major thing that we're going to be watching for, because you could go out there, let's say, for example, yesterday, clear off your driveway, clear off your sidewalks, and you wake up this morning, and it's like you didn't even go out whatsoever. It's just completely recovered, and it might not even be new snow coming down. That's existing snow that was on your yard that just got pushed over back onto your driveway.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that perspective, Jack. We do appreciate it.
All right, we're going to be checking back in with you later on, all right? Thank you. Well, it is, as we've mentioned, a first alert weather day. These wind chills, what I like about this map that we're showing you right now is it actually changes by the minute as you get new data. Is that right?
Right, yeah, and that's what we wanted to first alert you to, is that every hour this map is going to look a little bit different, but just a little bit. Where we are now is where we expect to be later on at 1 o'clock. At 4 o'clock. That's one of the reasons yesterday when we were talking to just the community in general and superintendents and people that are in charge of school closings or delays, there was always this conversation of why would you delay in the morning if it's going to be just as cold in the afternoon? And we're seeing more cancellations rather than a 2-hour delay. Because typically, you know, winter around here is you get the 2-hour delay in the morning to get you through that morning chill, and then the rest of the afternoon things warm back up. That's not the case today. We cool down. We're bitterly cold, dangerously cold in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening.
All right, and you mentioned it right here, what you're seeing on your screen right now. That's what our website looks like right now. And you can see that orange stripe there at the top of our webpage. If you go to WNDU.com, you'll see that orange stripe. This is what you click on. I'm going to click on it right now. And that is how you load our school delays and closings. They're all closings though, folks, and you can see it's impressive. It's not just schools though. We're talking about also businesses are impacted as well. And you can see this is a massive list. We also have it scrolling at the bottom of your screen if you're watching Channel 16 this morning. But there are services, organizations. I was laughing earlier, and yet I realize it's a serious situation.
Right.
Cass County just said Cass County's closed. I mean, they just don't want people coming to the courthouse or, trying to tend to business and, pay a services fees or something like that if you need to go to the courthouse to do any kind of business. They're just wanting you to just say, hey, stay home, be safe. But look at that impressive list of businesses, schools, organizations wanting you to basically just stay home and stay safe. But it's our website, WNDU.com. I've just kind of taken control of it here and put it into this stream so that you could see how easy it is to navigate and find our information. It's at your fingers. It's there to help you plan your day, plan to stay safe in these cold conditions.
And Tricia, one of the things I saw on that list is we're getting the message out. We've been first alerting for a couple of days now that this is going to be a long duration event. So on the list, it says closed Friday. I've seen some that are closed Saturday. And I think by the time we get into this afternoon and get into Saturday, you're going to see more closed Sunday and possibly closed Monday. Because again, you use this as a reference. It's not going to get any warmer. So if you're closing because of the cold today, you may have to repeat that once again on Monday and Tuesday. Check out the screen on your screen here. It's just, that is the scene that we have in and across the area. We call it just a cold winter tundra. You got the wind blowing, you got Old Glory, bottom part of your screen, and also you got the snow blowing up over and onto our parking lot. So that's our parking lot. It was plowed. You can kind of see the lines in and around the cars. You can also see that snow blowing. With that northwest wind, now the light snow is going to come back over, and it's not necessarily an accumulation, impressive accumulation, but it is going to be an impactful type wind. Okay,
we are going to continue to stay on top of this for you. Hourly updates right here at WNDU.com. We're going to be very busy here in the newsroom today, in the weather lab as well. You've already got your team working on this. Right. We're just keeping you up to speed on all of this. So we know you're maybe cooped up at home, maybe you're online right now. We certainly thank you for joining us, but we're going to...
Or on Roku. Your other streaming services. If you're watching us on those other streaming services, this is a Roku remote, we're there as well. So where you find us, you're going to see us live every hour.
All right, thank you for joining us. Of course, we'll be back again. Be safe out there. So long.
Stay warm.